in the formative part of this process, maybe 10 years or so ago, I'm having a sleepless night. I'm up at 1 or 2 in the morning. I flip on the TV and there's an Oprah rerun. And there's Maya Angelou on, and she's talking, and Oprah says, "You've just turned 80. What is it like to be 80? And Maya Angelou gets this amazingly transfixed expression on her face, and she looks out in the audience and she says, "Oh, I want all of you in the audience to live until your 80s. She said, "It's the most amazing time." She said, "I thought my 70s were great. The 80s are amazing." And I thought to myself, that's what I want, right? I want to wake up at 80 and feel this insane sense of appreciation, gratitude, and wonder about life, as opposed to this prevailing trope in our culture, which is you're declining, right? And everyone is kind of feeling sorry for you and making accommodations for you because you're getting old. And look, I'm not denying the fact that the body starts to decline, but the mind and the spirit get incredibly strong at this period if you're willing to allow it and to acknowledge it and to own it.
Yeah, beautiful. So as you were talking, you made me think of something. I actually had a call with a client this week. He's a CEO of a real estate company. He's a fairly younger guy in his late 40s, and he's got some leaders in their mid to late 30s that are needing some seasoning. And the company's growing. And he said to me, this has been our conversation. He said, "You know what I would love to do? If I could wave a magic wand, I'd love to hire a CFO who is maybe 60, 65, who has kind of who maybe doesn't want to do, maybe wants to do full time, but is also way open to just being," you've probably heard this term before. This is maybe a new term for some of my listeners, a fractional CFO.
Yes.
So, someone who wants to just maybe work 2 or 3 days a week can run that function, help grow our business, but also grow all these leaders that just need maturing.
Yep.
Because they don't, I can't spend all my time coaching these folks. I got to run a business, but they need a lot of coaching.
Can we clone this guy?
Yeah. So I love that idea, because sometimes I think when people think, "Oh, I'm 65 now, I got to find another full-time job." Well, you might need to, but you don't have to. You could find things like fractional jobs, which are basically part-time leaders that come in.
Yeah.
So I'd love to get your perspective on that, because you've probably you've seen that before or talked about that before.
Well, and this goes back to actually to inertia, to a way of addressing inertia, which is to kind of rethink this idea of what it is to work, right? And the beauty of getting older and having this kind of sense of authority, and I would say that, to anyone out there who is over 50, you may have noticed this, that people are looking at you differently. And you don't have to feel like, "Oh my God, they're looking at me like I'm old." They actually might be looking at you with a sense of awe and wonder that you have experienced all this stuff, and they may be a little intimidated, which goes to the third thing, ageism, which we'll talk about in a sec. But this idea of the fractional freelance consulting career in your specialty is a really key element. And I'm not sure where this sprinkles in here, but partially this is the addressing of the ageism question. How do you deal with this? A lot of this has to do with value proposition and your willingness to, with everything that you know and you can do, really drill down on that one niche value that you provide the best in your career to potential employers, clients, customers. And I would say that your ability to drill down on that and define it and own it is going to be the key to your second act career, regardless of how you end up getting paid, whether you're a 1099 at the end of the year, or you're a W-2, or you're a mixture of both. It is a much more modular approach to career. And you find the calling based on the need that you're filling, and you adjust to that wherever that is. And a lot of the work that I do with my clients is about making this mind transition from the idea, I got to find a job, to I've got to provide a value.